Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. It's Wednesday, June 16th, 2021. Welcome to Facebook Live. I forgot to hit a couple things here. Good morning. I hope to see some of you here today. My normal live day is Thursday, so I'm a day early. But my name's Jennifer Cotton, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Midlothian, Texas. And that means that I teach people how to make greeting cards, scrapbook pages, gift packaging, home decor pieces, and gift tags, and whatever else you want to make with stamps, ink, paper, and lots of cool tools. I use Stampin' Up! Products, and of course you can get those in my online store. Hey Cindy, good morning. We have a catalog. This is our annual catalog that just came out, so that'll be good for about a year. And then we have currently a mini catalog, which I'll show later, that's while supplies last. We have a whole online store. All our products match and coordinate. It's amazing. And this is my full-time job, so thank you very much for just watching this video. That helps my business. If you'd like to order anything, of course, I have an online store, and I also offer events that anyone can take where you can receive the supplies cut up, ready to stamp and assemble with PDF instructions, or you can attend some in person here in Texas. Yay, Kim. And you can, anyway, there's other options as well, but I offer lots of stuff. I even currently have a class you can take in Canada through my demonstrator friend who lives in Canada. So anyway, welcome everybody. Good morning to, let me go back. Thanks for sharing, Cindy. Hey, Kathy and Linda. Thanks for sharing, Linda. Good morning, Pat. Oh, Kim said first time watching from the beginning. Love that. Good morning, Glenda and Pat, thanks for sharing. Hey, Janet in North Carolina. Hey, Stella. Joni, good, in Indiana. Good morning. Good to see everybody. I'm glad y'all made it on Wednesday instead of Thursday. Hey, Susan, good morning. Oh, Marcia, you're not getting notices. You're coming to my class on whenever it is, you're coming to my class. So let's look at your phone and set those settings for you while you're here. Hey, Cindy, thanks for sharing. Good morning. When you guys comment on the video, that helps my business. So first of all, thank you. And second of all, you'll be entered by commenting to win the 3 cards I'm going to make today. And then if you share the video, you'll be entered again, but you need to comment that you shared, just like Cindy just commented that, because Facebook is like, that's private information, and so they don't tell me. The cards I'm going to make are going to use the Hats Off bundle. So this is the bundle, which means a stamp set and a coordinating product, usually a punch or dies. These are dies. So I'll be using these today on my cards, and we're making some that could be used for Father's Day today, or just general masculine cards, and a more feminine card. But I love this stamp set so much. It's so cool. It's like, to me, it's been a while since we've had a really versatile, not that all men wear caps, but definitely all men don't hunt or work on cars, so it's pretty versatile. Anyway, and it's for ladies as well, because lots of ladies wear baseball hats. Good morning, Carrie and Jackie. Thanks for sharing, Marcia. Hey, Lori and Susan. Thanks for sharing. Hey, Sherry. I wanted to make a comment that this is just like FYI. Sometimes when I'm doing Facebook Lives, I'll read a comment and I do not process it properly at that moment. And so I answer it weird, which I don't think it's weird at the time, but then when I go back and watch my video, I'm like, that's not what she was saying or asking. So just know that when I'm doing Facebook Lives, my brain kind of goes crazy. And so sometimes I don't process a question or comment even properly until later, when I'm like not thinking 500 things at one time. So just FYI. And then there's also that thing where someone will say hi, like I'll see the comment later, and I know they must have said that while I was sitting here looking at the comments, but I swear I didn't see it. So Facebook's weird, but I'm never skipping somebody on purpose. So thanks for sharing, Carrie and Kathy. Good morning to Pam and Shirley. Thanks for sharing. Jerry, good to see you. Hey, I need a moderator, right? Definitely. Thanks for sharing, Margaret. Although I do have lots of helpful people that just watch the videos that will, you know, like if I answered something wrong or I missed it, they'll answer for me. So you guys are kind of my moderators. Okay, so let me get started. So I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 19 years now, almost 20 in November. And like I said, this is my business. As you come on, say hi. Even if you're watching replay, you'll still get that chance to enter as long as I haven't done the drawing yet. So comment, say hi, say whatever you like. And then if you share the video, which helps me a lot, so thank you very much, comment that you shared as well, like Sherry and Margaret just did. And all of those will get you entered to win the prize drawing. Hey, Marilyn. Good morning in Georgia. She almost forgot to say hi, I think is what you're saying. Okay, so don't forget, it's the summer of stamping. Woohoo! I'm bringing you fun and entertainment all summer with lots of events. And this summer, you can get prize entries for participating with me. So this is the website, which has been emailed out multiple times, and it's posted on my blog. This is a link where you report your entries. So you have to report them to get entered. But here's how you earn entries. For every $35 you spend on a single order, you get an entry. So a $70 order is 2, and so on. Marcia just got the notice. Yeah, Facebook definitely is weird. Every class you attend, in person or to go. So if you sign up for one of my classes and you fulfill that, you know, you pay for it and take it, you get 2 entries. Bring a new friend to an event or refer a new friend to an event. This is a new adult who I've never met before / hasn't paid for a class or order through me before. You get 3 entries into this drawing, which is going to be for lots of prizes, including a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then if you host your own fun summer party, which this is the summer to do it, right? We've been locked up for a year. Here in Texas, we are allowed to do those kind of things, and we can do CDC guidelines and all that stuff, my house or yours, but this is the summer to have a party, right? We can theme it. We can do it. Everybody will get to make projects. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll do all the work. You'll provide some snacks. That's it. And a table. So you'll get 5 entries as long as your party is at least $150, which is your minimum goal, so you can get free stuff from Stampin' Up! Too. So remember, if you do any of those things, afterward you report them on this link, which it is posted. It's clickable on my blog and in my customer emails that are going out right now. $35 is a single order. Classes in person and to go qualify. The friend thing is a new adult who's never ordered from me before or taken a class, and a party of 150 or more. So contact me today for information to book your party. I think this is a great year to do a home party. And let's introduce some new people to the joy of stamping. And we can do it virtually as well if you're long distance. And let's just have some fun. Hey, Terry, good morning. Patricia Settle shared, thank you. And hello in Indiana. Let me see who else I missed here. I think I said hi to those people. Christine in Wisconsin, good morning. Catherine is up. It's 9:10. Good job, Catherine. Jen in Toasty, Arizona. I know, girl. This heat wave is not good. We're supposed to be watching our electricity here, I can't think of the word, but conserving during certain hours of the day and all kinds of stuff. Good, Pat. I was thinking you were Pat Chat, but then I was like, no, that's not the last name there. It's Settle. And I know Pat goes by Pat, but I didn't know if you did. So, okay. So classes, they are June 26th in person, or if you're picking up from me, June 26th. It's card class, scrapbook class, Stamp-A-Stack class, and sampler class, 4 to pick from. You can attend in person on June 26th. There's 3-hour time slots and a maximum of 4 people per class, which will be, it's all in one room here. If you attend my classes, you know all about that. So you can take any of those in person. There's just limited space, so sign up now. Card and scrapbook are $15 each or free with a $20 order, and you can take those to go. Card is Shaded Summer stamp set, so just 1 stamp set. Jill in Illinois, soon to be in Heath, Texas. Cool. I don't know where Heath is. I'm not sure if I've heard of it, but that's cool. And I'm in Midlothian. I think I said that. Midlothian, Texas, near Waxahachie, between Cedar Hill and Waxahachie. Anyway. And then scrapbook class, 3 12x12 pages, $15 free with a $20 order. We're going to use the Sweet as a Peach bundle, the Biggest Wish stamp set, and the Spiral Die stamp set. And we're going to do summer and July 4th themes. So Heath is near Rockwall. Okay, not too bad as far as distance from me. And then sampler and Stamp-A-Stack are both priced differently. They include, Catherine knows where it is as well. They include $20 or more in merchandise with your fee. Then they include all the supplies cut and ready to make either the sampler or the 12 cards. 4 designs, 3 of each, 12 total. So these are the Stamp-A-Stack cards this month. We're using Color and Contour, one of my favorite new stamp sets. And you'll make 3 of each, so 12 cards total. And we cut everything humanly possible for you. We die cut, we cut, all you do is stamp and assemble. If you attend in person, everybody knows where Heath is except me, which is normal, like totally normal. Anyway, we cut, you just stamp and assemble. If you attend in person, you use my stamps. You can also check out the supplies for me if you're local. But if you're stamping at home, you'll just need the 1 stamp set. So still easy. And then that is $30. It includes 20 in merchandise. Do the math. When you add tax and shipping to $20 in merchandise, you're already up to like $24 at least. In product, you're getting plus 12 cards for $30. It is a great deal. And it's a club you can join as well. You can take it at one time, pick and choose month to month. Or you can sign up and join the club and get it every month. And then after 6 months consecutive, you'll get $25 in free merchandise from me. So all the links, I have them for you. You can sign up for my email list or ask me for them, and some will be posted in the video today description. So hopefully I said everything about Stamp-A-Stack. Sampler is using hand pin petals, and we're going to make a gorgeous sampler with hand pin petals. You're going to get $20 in merchandise. You're going to get half a Memories and More kit, half a pack of designer paper, some ribbon, some genial gems. It's a great value. Again, we cut, die cut, punch, everything we can. We package this in order of the squares or rectangles. So the first one's in the front, the last one's in the back. You take out one at a time and you make it with your PDF instructions, or you take it in person. That one's only $28. It includes 20 in merchandise. We do all that stuff for you, and you can do it in person or to go. The deadline to sign up for those two is June 20th. That is this Sunday. You have 4 days to sign up or join the club. And I had a new club member join yesterday. Kathy, thank you very much. Welcome. Next, hand-pinned petals card class with games. This is a lot of fun. This is all online on Zoom. Anyone in the U.S. can take this class. You're going to make at least 4 cards or 4 projects with the hand-pinned petals stamp bundle, which is the same one we're using on the sampler. You will also get some product with your fee that you'll get to keep. the leftovers of and use on other projects. We'll die cut punch, etc. And you'll get a chance to play games for our door prizes. And our door prizes on this event are very large gift certificates. So you want to play those games as well. But the Hand Pen Petals card class, sign up by June 27th, and the event is on July 8th. It's all to go. So you'll use your own stamps at home. We'll mail you the kit. You'll log into Zoom the day of, which is July 8th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So again, if you need links to any of these, let me know. Then the Sweet as a Peach Stamp Camp with Genevieve. Genevieve is a Canadian demonstrator, so if you live in the US, you can take this. If you live in Canada, you can take this. There's actually, with this Sweet as a Peach Stamp Camp, there's 3 classes to choose from. You can take 1, 2, or all 3. Any mix you want. So, Cindy, I'm so glad you signed up for Sampler this month. If you only take, you don't have to take the camp to take 1 or 2 of the other classes. So, the camp, we're going to have a gift for you. We're going to have a Facebook group where you can interact with us, and we'll share some fun stuff there. You're going to get to make 10 adorable projects using the Sweet as a Peach stuff. You're going to get product with your fee. We're including the stamps and bundles with your fee, but you don't have to get them if you already own them. You just substitute product of equal value. There's a gnat in here. Sign up. Yes, by June 27th for me, July 1st for Genevieve. And so US is June 27th, Canada's July 1st. And if you do end up taking all 3, you are going to get a bonus gift from us. But the other 2 classes you can take along with this or separately is my $1 Million class, which is, I think my stamp set is over here. Yes, right here. A class using the Create with Friends stamp set. This is my first and so far only class with Create with Friends. So we will make 6 projects. You'll get the stamp set with the fee or substitute if you already have it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't created them yet, but I am looking forward to that because I've used it, but I haven't specifically created a class with it yet. And then there is Genevieve's Christmas in July. So get started early. Get going on your Christmas cards. You're going to make 6 adorable cards with the Tidings and Trimming stamp set. And, make them now while it's still summer and you're not stressed out about the 5 million things you need to do for the holidays. And then my next offering is the August Retreat in a Box. And there's another Christmas in August class there using the same stamps. So guess what? You sign up for the first one. Genevieve's actually designing that class, but I will be prepping for the US. So you take Genevieve's class in July. You've already got 6 cards and you already own the stamps and dies. And then you take the next class, my Tidings and Trimming Stamp-A-Stack in August, and that's going to be 20 cards. So you've already got 26 cards. You have all those designs to pick from to recreate more. You're going to be so ahead of the game. You're going to be really glad you did both. So anyway, August Retreat in a Box is a retreat in a box is what our in-person retreat attendees receive mailed to you. So if you can't attend, don't want to attend, live too far, can't afford to fly in, whatever your reason, you can take it to go. And you will receive a box if it's mailed to you. If it's picked up, it's actually in a bag. But you'll receive a box full of $50 in merchandise, an exclusive bag. Like this is one of our recent bags from a retreat. It's designed exclusively for this event. Gifts from us, PDF tutorials, and at least 10 make and takes that you make with the paper we cut for you and the goodie bag contents. And this one will focus on the Expressions in Ink Suite, which is gorgeous and gonna match this month's paper pumpkin that it's too late to sign up for. Okay, so that's the retreat in a box. As a side note, we do have space available in our in-person retreat, which includes all the same stuff I just told you, plus a hotel room and meals and all kinds of things. That's August 5th through 8th, and space is available. In the emails I've sent out recently about events, I have the link to sign up for that. You can also join the Simply Spoiled Retreats Facebook group and get information and links there about these in-person and to-go retreats. Okay, so sign up for that. And then if you're attending in person, we have a separate retreat group just for those attending in person, so you can like figure out what you're going to bring and if your friend's going to bring stuff and all that. Can you borrow something, whatever. Okay, so same as the stamp camp, you can take Retreat in a Box or one of these classes or the other class or 2 or 3. So the other classes are my Tidings and Trimming Stamp-A-Stack class and April's Plentiful Plants Sampler and Card class. And you're going to make a beautiful sampler. Have you seen Plentiful Plants? I've shown it on other videos. I didn't pull all that out today just to save us a minute. But it's gorgeous. Like, it's all these, like, what are those called? I think some of them are succulents. They're like aloe vera type plants. And these, now I'm going to blank out on what those are called, but not crocheted. Somebody help me out. These hanging things made out of fabric that people, it's like crocheting. I can't think of the word. But anyway, it's really cool. There's gorgeous designer paper to match it, and it's going to make a great sampler. Plus, you'll get some bonus cards in that class as well. So, sign up for all of that by, I have a deadline somewhere. Maybe. Oh, July 25th. That's your deadline. Macrame. Thank you. I did know that word. It left my brain. Thank you guys. And I knew y'all would know it. Macrame. It's so cute. The dies cut out like a macrame plant hanging thing and other stuff as well. So cute. So can you imagine a sampler with that? Yes. Sign up for any of those by July 25th. Your kits will be mailed by August 13th at the latest. Thank you guys for answering that for me. And I'll take this chance real quick. I know I saw a couple of people come on while I've been talking about all my events. Dana, hello. I'm seeing you guys talking about where Heath is. Thank you very much. Terry, thanks for sharing. Hey, Stacy in Florida, no problem being a little bit late. Thanks for sharing. Deb, good morning. Melanie, hello. I'll see you soon in August. Cindy, we talked about, oh, and Cindy signed up for bingo as well. Yes, Cindy's just taking all the classes right now. And everybody everybody knows what macrame is except me. And I can't do those kind of crafts, by the way. Macrame, none of it. Janet says, love your earrings. Thank you very much. I get a lot of compliments on these earrings, and people are like, somebody asked me on the incentive trip if they were like some really expensive brand, and I was like, they're from Old Navy, which is usually where I get my earrings, Old Navy. But I just look and look and look, and I always can find like one out of all their earrings there. Not that they have bad ones, but they're usually too young for me. So Old Navy for these earrings. Thank you very much. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Okay, so those are events I have going on right now. Stampin' Up stuff. Don't forget to get that Hey Chick stuff. I pulled it out today. You have till June 30th or while supplies last to get these dies that match Hey Chick, which you might already own. Look at all these lights. You might already own Hey Chick because it was free with a purchase in like 2017, I believe. But if you don't, you can buy it right now, and then you can get these dies that match it. And if you needed both, it's a bundle. These are all on my online store, Hey Chick and Chick dies. Anyway, but these dies cut out every image in the stamp set, plus there's all these like chicken wire and a hen house. chicken coop, a sign, like that can be used for many things. Some eggs, a corn stalk, a tree trunk, like it's so useful. I just think everybody needs this because it's going to be useful for many things in your future. But while supplies last on that. It's in my online store. The retiring sale, this is that mini catalog I mentioned at the very beginning. So this was our January to June mini catalog, and it's served us very well. But now the retiring items are while supplies last. Things are selling out, especially stamp sets. So if there's any stamps in here you wanted, but you just haven't gotten them yet, if they're retiring, they're selling out. So get them now. Many of the items that are retiring are discounted up to 50% off. So I have listed a link to this sale in my emails. I have an email going out today. Actually, I don't remember if that one has the link, but most of my emails have the link to that sale as well as on my blog, stamптherapist.com. So get that stuff while you can. And then, of course, our new mini catalog will come out in August. It's delayed a month because of the shipping issues, but it's coming out for customers in August, demonstrators in July. So if you're a demonstrator, you can view it online in like 6 days, as along with Celebration, which none of us that I know of have seen yet. I haven't seen it yet. And Celebration will be in August and September, and that's where you get a free gift with every 50 or 100 you spend. There's usually a host special and a join special. And Celebration starts for demonstrators in July. So in July 1st, every 50 and 100 I spend, I'm going to get a free gift. So basically I get 3 months instead of 2 months. So if you would like to join Stampin' Up! And get all the perks I get with no obligation, it's only $99. Anyone can join, literally no obligation. You don't have to do anything, but you can see all the stuff early, order from it early, get those perks early, get your discount on top of any sale, which is a minimum 20% discount. That includes, what am I trying to say? Oh, during Celebration. So for every 50 you spend, you get a free gift, but we don't spend 50. We actually spend 20% less than that, but we still get our free gift for the full amount. So it's a good deal. A lot of people watching this video and commenting right now are on my team. And Linda Hodge, no problem coming on late. Good to see you. Next is the July paper pumpkin. It says the adventure begins. And if you can see it, I'm trying to get the glare off there. There's some trees. It's like outdoorsy. It looks campy. There's a lantern. That's the sneak peek we got. And early and discount are your favorite words, right, Pat? Yes. Sherry can't wait. I know, I'm so excited to order from that new catalog. So this paper pumpkin kit, well, first of all, what's paper pumpkin? It's our monthly craft box in the mail where you receive a surprise box that's this shape. It's could be a different color, like I think that one, no, it's red. It's the same color as this. But inside is a stamp set, ink, adhesive, and then all the supplies you need to make whatever the projects are. So you get, for $22, you get a full stamp set, ink every month, which you can just re-ink with our inkers we sell, adhesive and embellishments, instructions, which are now full color, by the way. Yay, Stampin' Up! For upgrading that. Full color instructions. There's even a ruler in these instructions. It runs along the bottom here. Look how long that ruler is. It's light gray, so it's hard to see, but it's down here where my fingers are pointing. That's to measure your twine and stuff. And then whatever supplies you need to make the projects. So this kit, let me get to my notes, is going to make 12 cards. And you always get matching envelopes. 12 cards. So it says, life is full of big adventures. that are best experienced together. This month's The Adventure Begins Paper Pumpkin Kit helps you celebrate those exciting new chapters in the most creative ways, with enough supplies to make 12 motivating cards, plus coordinating envelopes, all featuring the exciting colors of nature. Like the still moments before a great adventure, the kit's design contains a quiet energy that hint at all the grand possibilities of what is yet to come. Okay, so 12 cards. They're full size, normal, like the cards I'll be making today. And it includes inspirational sentiments and adventure themed imagery. Awesome. So I'm excited about this one. So it's only $22. You can subscribe, and it is cheaper when you subscribe. It's $22 plus tax, and you can cancel at any time. You can subscribe right through me. There'll be a link in this video. Or you can just go to my website and make a purchase of 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, where you're not a subscriber. You just prepay for all of them. And when you do that, either way, the deadline is the 10th of each month to subscribe or purchase. And if you go purchase, you're going to get an email from Stampin' Up! That you have to activate activate by the 10th. So hopefully that makes sense. Any questions, let me know. Dorothy, I hope y'all are doing okay. She says watching at the hospital. But good to see you, Dorothy. Okay, so don't forget, this month in June 2021, any orders placed with me are going to get 60 free tutorials emailed to them. It's a PDF document that I'll email out. And it's 125 pages, and it's 60 different tutorials for projects, all from the new catalog. In addition, you always get a free class packet with your online order of 25 or more using the month's host code. And this month the cards will use the Pansy Patch stamp set. I haven't designed them yet, of course, but here's the cards from last month. We used, I can't remember the name of the stamp set. Flowers, Friendship is like flowers or something. Those are the cards from last month. So 25 or more, you get a free class packet to make 4 cards. 50 or more, you get the free class packet plus a free full accessory, which I've decided you're getting the Bumblebee trinkets free with a $50 order this month using the monthly host code. And any order gets the tutorials, which means you get all of that. Cindy, if the class includes product, yes. But, yeah. So, yes, Cindy, because you're taking Sampler. So, Sampler and Stamp-A-Stack, but you have to sign up during this month, which I know you did. But, what's it called? Stamp Camp, Retreat in a Box, all those things count. Bingo, yes. Okay, I think I said it all, so I'm going to point the camera down. I'm going to actually, you'll see my roof, my ceiling for a minute, and then I'll point it down. If you are just coming on, or you are watching replay, you still can comment even now, and or share the video and comment that you shared to receive an entry and a chance to win the, why is it so crooked? To win the 3 cards I'm going to make today. Sorry. So here's the host code. If you place an online order in June 2021, unless your order is over 150, then don't use the host code, but you'll still get all those gifts from me. But if you place an online order in June 2021 with this host code, you're going to receive the gifts I told you, depending on your amount and all that stuff. So any questions, just let me know. Today, actually, I'll bring this in. I'm using the Hats Off bundle, which is only $35, by the way. Only $35. I'm laughing because Linda said her outside flowers wanted water. Terry, the PDF is just free with any order placed with me this month or any classes you sign up for during the month of June. It's a June special, so hopefully that makes sense. And it's the classes that, of course, include product with their fee. Okay, so Hats Off bundle, $35 for the stamp set and the dies, which you'll be seeing a lot of in a little bit here. And they are sold separately, so the stamp set is $17, and then the dies are on page 159, whatever their price is. I think you would want the bundle personally, especially since it's such a great deal. Let me grab my supplies for the first card. I am using a few bonus stamp sets on, basically each card has at least one extra stamp set today for different reasons. Like this one, I needed the splatter, and this is a really good splatter image here. So anyway, you'll see what I used on those. So this card, my ink is Evening Evergreen and Bumblebee. I'm using my card base is an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock cut in half. So it is 5.5 inches. Just cut it in half. You'll get 2 cards that are one piece. They'll fit into the normal size envelope, which invitation size, but we call them medium. We do carry them. So it's very economical to make cards because you get 2 out of 1 piece of paper, and it's easy to remember the measurement. Just cut it in half either direction. And then once you fold it, which I will fold in half with the bone folder, I always leave my paper on the table, rest the 2 pieces where I folded it against my thumbnail, and align the 2 corners, and then only pinch it once with my finger and do all the rest of my folding with my bone folder, which gives a much crisper fold on the inside than if you fold it with your finger. And this is Mossy Meadow. Then the next layer is, actually this card's gonna be Landscape. The next layer is Bumblebee, and it's 4 by 5 1/4. And then I pre-die cut 2 of my stitched rectangles, with the larger one's Mossy Meadow and the smaller one is Basic White. These are the rectangle stitched dies, and you get 13 different dies, and they pretty much all have a mat except for this one odd size one here, but that's still great to have that size as well. So you can layer them the way I did with these. These 2, when you first purchase the dies, on the left side there's 4 smaller ones, and these are the 2 smallest in that section. Then these in the middle, like they don't exactly layer with those, but they all layer with each other on the right. And then there's that odd one up there. So it's those 2. And then again for Quiet Meadow is the stamp set I'm using for the splatter. This is a brand new stamp set from our new catalog, and it has some gorgeous dies that go with it that can actually stand alone or go with this stamp set. It has like a garden type saying that can be stamped as a background, but like some of it's rubbed off, so it's distressed. And then there's flowers and greetings, but I chose it for the splatter image because it's a pretty large splatter, so you'll see. And I just needed a background on here. And then last, I think, well, I'm going to use some linen thread, but other than that, I'm using the Beauty of the Earth designer paper. So this designer paper, 12 by 12, I'm sure I've shown it before in other videos. On another card today, I'm going to use this design. So this is like, if you were using this for the trees, which it is the product it was designed for, you can use this as like tree toppers, basically. It's got like fall colors in it, Mary Merlot, pumpkin pie, cinnamon cider, colors like that. And the other side is the big image, like 12 by 12 of if you're looking up into tree branches, like if you were laying on the ground in the middle of a circle of trees. So that's gorgeous, but I'm going to use this side on a card later. And then the other one I'm using today is this piece here, this one right here, which when you look closely at it, it is a bunch of trees going up, and they're overlapping, and it's watercolory. It's mossy meadow, old olive, some bumblebee in there, and some white space, and of course brown for the trees. So that's what that looks like. I'm using it as a camouflage, and then let me show you the back. It's a wood grain. So I'm using it because if people don't think of it that way and they just look at a card, they're going to see camo in this situation. We do have a camouflage background stamp, but Jennifer doesn't own it yet. So you could buy that as well. Real quick, I'll just flip through some of the other designs here. I think I have them all except for this one in the front in this packet because I've used that one the most. This can even be for holidays or winter. This designer paper, it's really pretty. It can be mix and match with a lot of stuff. And then this piece that I only have this little section of. There's the back side. It's kind of like evergreen trees, but just artistic and watercolory. But this side is one of those, it's 12 by 12, and across the top and the bottom are these beautiful watercolor trees. So you could cut it in half and have two halves that are trees. Anyway, okay. So I'm using, where do I want to start? Oh, and I have a piece of white to go on the inside. It's 4 by 5 1/4, just because it's so dark on the inside there. Where should I start? Let me just do all my stamping first. I'm like truly trying to decide this as we speak. So these are all the pieces I'm going to stamp on. My designer paper, my white stitched rectangle, the white for the inside, and the bumblebee for the outside. So I'm gonna slip scratch paper under here, and I'll just do the designer paper first because it's big and it's taking up a lot of space here. So of course I'm going to stamp the big hat, because why wouldn't you with this stamp set? Right there. It's a very large, it's actual size on the front of the box, baseball hat. So I chose to stamp this in Evening Evergreen. This color is not in this designer paper, but to be honest, my Mossy Meadow pad does not work well, and I really don't recommend a Mossy Meadow ink pad because they kind of dry up. They just do. But Evening Evergreen is a new ink color, and it's really dark. Just tap, tap, tap on here. Don't press hard. Move it around to get the ink. And I'm going to stamp in Evening Evergreen this baseball hat right on the designer paper. So it's a really dark green, so it looks fine on here, even though that's technically not a color in this designer paper. And then I'm also using Evening Evergreen for my greeting, which is from this stamp set. It says, "You're the best." We also have "Here's to the next adventure," "To the guy that wears many hats," "Go get 'em, Tiger." And then there's all these images that can be patches on the hat. Oh, and sorry, also "I'm your #1 fan." But these patch images can stand alone and not be a patch, or they can be, but they have the little shapes. And within those, there's also "Life is Great," "Dad," #1. And then there's a mountain image with some trees, a sun with like water below it, a rocket ship, and a tiger. So really cool. Let me grab my stamp. And this stamp set is photopolymer. You're the best, I should say. So it's photopolymer, which means if you don't have a really firm table to stamp on, make sure you use a foam mat or something under it. I recommend our foam mats. It's $5, $126, $199. That'll give you a good stamping surface. Because if your table's flexible, soft, plastic, card table, what are our other tables that give us trouble? Oh, the ones with lots of grooves in them, like it's really fancy, but not good for stamping. I'm going to just roughly cut around this hat and take it off this designer paper. Any of that stuff, then your photopolymer stamps are not going to stamp well. Okay, so I have those two images. Now in my Bumblebee ink, I'm going to stamp this splatter image. So let me show you. This is red rubber, which, by the way, in Quiet Meadow, I haven't fully put this stamp set together yet. So I'll just take this opportunity real quick and show you how I put my photopolymer stamps together. My red rubber stamps together. They're called Cling in our catalog. And you get a sheet of stickers and your sheet of stamps. So they're all of the stickers on the back. This is the front, this is the back. There's a slit down the middle of the sticker somewhere. So I take off half of this, of the protective coating, and expose half of the sticker. Then I get the matching piece of rubber and I peel the protective coating off of that. And then I'm going to grab my readers just to make sure. But then I leave this down on the table and I turn it just depending on the stamp so I can see the most, what's the word? Like I want to see all these curves. That's what I want to align the most, more than just maybe looking at the top here, for example, on this one. So I want to be right on top of it where I can see what I'm doing and have my glasses on, have some good lights, have a flat table, all that stuff. And then I place it down on half of the sticker. This is just how I do it. Many people do these different ways. And then I pull the rest of it back like this and pull off the other half of the sticker and press down. And then now I have this Cling stamp that's super sticky. You can place it on your clear block. That's the wrong size, but you know, do all your stamping, clean it off, and then carefully peel from under the sticker. You have to just use a fingernail or a tool and get that started, and that's how you peel it off. And then I don't want this to stick inside my case like it's stuck to that clear block, so I leave this sticker sheet in here. And then I can just pull these in and out of here really quick and easily. Okay, so that was another little detour. So tap, 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 don't press too hard. And I just want to add some splatter randomly on the Bumblebee cardstock. You can flip your stamp different directions. You can stamp it 2 or 3 times before re-inking. This particular color I found gets really light after the second stamping. So you can really only get about 2 generations out of this particular color, not the stamp, the color. And then on the inside of the card, I'm just going to put a little splatter in the bottom left-hand corner of the white piece. Okay. Aw, Terry, you're so nice. She says love starting her day watching me because it's inspiring. Yay. I really am excited about these cards today, by the way, as well. Okay, so this is going to go on the front. This is going to go on the inside. Got my greeting. Now I just need to die cut this hat out. I have heard, well, I heard one other demonstrator, I don't know what everyone else is saying, say that she prefers to die cut the hat first and then stamp it. But I found it is easy to align for me. You're not going to be able to see it very well, I don't think, on the video because this is so dark on dark. But again, get your glasses out, have good lighting, and to align this, you want to look at the lines of the stamped image, but you also want to look at that little thing where the button on top would be, or is. And I'm going to grab my readers. And those are all the things you want to align to do this. So let me grab my machine because I can get it perfect now and it's going to shift. So I prefer to align it on my machine, my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Remember, both sides fold up, more compact for travel. It comes with all the plates you need. This is only $120. It's going to last you years and years. And it comes with all the plates you need to be able to cut and emboss anything Stampin' Up! Carries. And it's great to get with our starter kit if you don't have one. So I'm aligning it the way I told you guys. This angle is making it hard for me to see. I just pulled that up a little closer. But anyway, my advice is don't bother doing all this until you have this sitting on the machine ready to run through. And then I'll use a little of my Post-it tape. This is on my blog. If you click the Amazon links at the top, you can find a link to some stuff I use in my business, including Post-it tape. And someone asked on this Facebook Live last week, but on the YouTube version, about my tabletop, and that's on there as well. It's a contact paper. Anyway, and then peel this off carefully. It's ripped my paper one time only on a video. And so see, it's pretty easy to align the stamped images, and it definitely adds to the detail of this being a baseball hat shape, even though this die does put stitch marks in there, which adds to it as well, but I like the stamped part being on there. Okay, I think, knock on wood, I die cut the other ones out for today, but we will see if I really did or not. Sometimes I think I do stuff, and for some reason I didn't. Okay, so now we have all our parts to assemble this card. Usually when I make masculine cards, I try, thank you, Terry. And doesn't it look like camo, right? When I make masculine cards, I try to keep them not too much going on, because I figure men don't appreciate it, and most men don't need it. What am I looking for? My dimensionals. And that's what I need. So I'm using mini Stampin' Dimensionals, my favorite, and Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to start putting this together. So first I'll attach the bumblebee background piece to the card base. You don't need a lot of Stampin' Seal. It's a really strong adhesive, as you see me trying to rip it off my fingers there. Just a normal 1/8 inch border around the edges. Let me add this white piece on the inside. Of course, you wouldn't glue any of this down until after you stamped, because if we had messed up, we could flip it over and try again. And trust me, you can definitely mess up. I do it all the time. So there's the front, and then for the greeting, we have the white piece stamped on and the Mossy Meadow. Mossy. So I'm going to use mini Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of the white piece. It's a pretty long rectangle, so I will use 3 mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and then place that on my Mossy Meadow rectangle, which is stitched, of course, so super cute. It can still be cute even though we're giving it to a guy. And this could be for a lady as well, because many women are in the military or hunt. So to me, camo could represent hunting, military, and some people just like camo. So either way, I'm going to take this linen thread and wrap it around my 3 of my fingers about 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'll trim it off. This is linen thread, by the way. We carry it, of course. And then I'm not letting go of my left hand where I was holding it to keep it shape. And I should have done this first, but I always forget. I'm going to add adhesive on the back of my Mossy Meadow. And this time I'm not going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on this piece. So I'm just going to cover the whole thing with adhesive. And I am putting a little more than normal because this linen thread is going to make it bulky. And then I'm just going to sort of smush this linen thread into that adhesive. You'll get a different shape each time. You'll see on my other sample it looks totally different. And I'm telling you, this adhesive is really sticky, which is good. That's going to help that stay in place. And then let me just estimate where I need this greeting to go. Bottom left hand corner. Smush it down because, you know, the linen thread is bulky. And then for the hat, you see the stitch marks on the hat. So right where the brim starts, there's stitch marks, and you can kind of bend the brim up. You can actually bend it up a lot if you were like handing out a card in person. See all that lift? But I'm just going to use dimensionals there. So on the top part of the hat, I'll use regular adhesive, and I've been using 3 mini dimensionals on the brim, but do you, as y'all know. Some of you like to cover the whole thing with dimensionals. And then I'm just putting the hat up here on the left at a little angle. And so it has, I'll try to show you that where the brim is kind of lifted up, it has that lift, I guess. And there it is. Our first card, kind of masculine-y. Let me see what you guys are saying over here. Good, Terry. Never thought of using this paper. And of course, this is great for baseball because I see your little baseball there. Totally. But I'm not doing any baseball themes today. And if you got the last paper pumpkin, mix and match. Hats off with your paper pumpkin kit because it's all baseball theme. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Carrie. Camping hat, yes. I love the stitching as well. Good, I'm glad y'all like it with this DSP. Terry says would fit right in here in Colorado. Linda, 20 years of baseball and you haven't ordered this stamp set. That is a shame. Good morning, April. Thank you, Linda. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Kathy and Marcia. Okay, so Father's Day, birthday, anything else. This doesn't have to be for a grown man. It can be for a child, you know, anyone. And really, this can be for a female as well. It's not specifically masculine. And you see how the colors are different here. That's just how the paper is. I guess I just caught a section. It was that bottom left-hand corner that had less yellow in it when I did that one. So like there's another section that's a lot of green. So anyway, it's going to be different every time you use it. I'm glad you guys like it. And of course the color combo, I just used what the designer paper said to use. Okay, our next card is going to be our more feminine one. So for this card, we're going to use Create with Friends for our greeting. Love this stamp set. Recommend everyone gets this one for sure. And then the bark embossing folder, which is in the suite with that designer paper. And then I've got, let me grab these pieces here. My card base is Blushing Bride, 5.5, 8.5. Then I have a layer of cinnamon cider, 4 by 5 1/4. And I've embossed this with the bark embossing folder. I'll show that in a second. Then I have a strip of basic white that is 1 1/8. I just needed it a little bigger than 1 inch. So it's a little bigger than 1 inch, 1 1/8 by 5 1/4. It's the same length as the cinnamon cider. And then I have a scrap here of basic white, which I'll flip over in a second and show you what I did on that. And then I have some white crinkled seam binding. I was in my ribbon container looking for this ribbon, and I saw what must be a half a pack that I had left over from an event, and I was like, I need to use that up. So that's why it's all unwound, but we'll pretend that's a roll of ribbon. And then I'm going to use my color lifter. So, and then the ink colors are Mary Merlot and Blushing Bride, which are from the designer paper colors. And this is the card I'm using this piece of designer paper on, which I showed you at the beginning of the card making part. Okay, so the bark folder, I took my cinnamon cider cardstock and I placed it in the folder, and I wanted the bark to go sideways, this direction, landscape. So I put it in that way, but you can place your paper either direction because this is a large folder. And then I put it on the die cut machine. Let me grab these plates. Remember, everything comes with the machine. So I took off all 3 of these, number 2, number 3, and another number 3. And I just used the bottom plate, which is what the picture here would tell you to do. Put this on top with the one piece of paper inside, and then this number 4, this gray plate, which comes with your machine, on top. So that's how you do these thick embossing folders. And always insert the folded end into your machine first. Run it through one time. Don't go backwards, because then you're putting the open end into your machine first, and you're done. So that's how I did that. And cinnamon cider is a color from this paper as well. I probably said that. Now I'm getting myself confused. So that bark folder is great for all kinds of stuff. Okay, so for my, well, let me fold my card base in half, and then I'll do my stamping. Just like before. And this is also a landscape card, but I'm going to put that aside. So for my stamping, I need another hat. So I'm going to use Mary Merlot this time. So I'm going to clean the hat off with my Simply Chamois, which you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, you just rinse this off in the sink, squeeze it out the water, make sure the water's running clear and it's clean to keep cleaning more stamps. It's going to be stained like this. It does not come in a case like this. We sell these separately, but just don't put it in a baggie and seal it up, because then it's going to get moldy. It needs to have some airflow. It's fine if it dries out. You just take it back to the sink and get it wet again. So Mary Merlot for this hat. And then you're going to take that die and align it in the machine, and bzz, through the magic of TV, you're going to have the hat cut out. So this could be like girl camo, or just an image. Like, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to cut this hat out so I don't forget about it. It doesn't have to be anything. It's just an image, right? Like, you could find a hat like that or a pattern like that in a store randomly, and it would be cute. Okay, and then I'm gonna open my Blushing Bride ink pad. And so first of all, I'll do my greetings, and thank you. Linda said, love your stamp set. It's ideal greetings sentiments for cards. Thank you very much. I love it as well. You can mix and match and make so many different greetings with this. In addition, I had in mind scrapbooking and samplers with it, with these big words. So it's, to me, very versatile. Okay, so on this strip, 1 1/8 by 5 1/4 of white cardstock, we're going to stamp Best Friends Forever. So if you were going with the camo theme on this card, this could be some friends who love camo, or who hunt together, which I know lots of ladies hunt as well, or whatever the reason. Okay, so I'm going to stamp Friends over to the left of this white paper. Just, it's all the way over to the left, but it's kind of centered top to bottom in Blushing Bride. And then it doesn't matter which one you stamp next, whichever stamp is available. So I'll grab Forever. That's going to go on the bottom between the R and the D. They go down lower in Mary Merlot. And then Best goes right between the top of the F and the D. So there we go. Best Friends Forever. That's done. Then the next stamping I'm going to do is, this one was a little bit of a challenge. So all of the dies, and I found different situations with different stamps. So to me, just test this out and see what works best for you. So each of these patch dies, there's 4 different ones, have an outline die and the detail die. You can cut both at one time, which I did on a card I made I think that I'm not demonstrating, but I'm going to show you. So this is a case-by-case basis. You're going to figure out what you're making and decide, do I cut both at one time or cut them separately? I needed them separate for this card because I wanted the back part, this larger piece, to be one color and the front to be white. So what I did was I ran this, just the stitch die, which does not cut it out. It just puts the stitch marks in your paper, if you can see that. I ran this through the die cut machine. And then I took my stamp, which says Life is Great, and it's hard to describe the shapes of these patches, but there's 4 different ones, and this is the one that's more, it's not a rainbow, but if you're thinking of a shape, it's more rainbow shaped. Then I took the stamp that fits that says Life is Great, which, yeah, here it is. I'm like, where's my stamp? And I stamped it on top of the stitch thing. And then I did it again and again. Actually, I think this was the easier one, but it took some doing for me to get it centered. So I pre-stamped one just in case, but let me see if I can do it right now. Grab these glasses. To me, it was worth the effort, which honestly, I am now blanking out on which one gave me more trouble, this one or the other card. Yeah, I think this was the easier one. I think the other one was more difficult, which you'll see when I make that card because it's a smaller image. So anyway, but I die cut first, then I stamped, and this one you probably actually could die cut, like stamp first and then die. It's not cutting, but y'all understand what I'm saying. You could position this stitch right in the middle of the stamping, because there's a border that it stamps, and then it's not shifting because I've already die cut it and it's falling in those holes. So, okay, why didn't I think of this the other day? Stamp first on this one, position that, and then run it through the die cut machine. That's going to be easy. Then separately, I mean, you can do it at the same time on your machine, die cut out the outline piece, and in this case in Mary Merlot. Then we just need to hand cut out this greeting, which I pre-did. And I didn't want really any white showing around the edges because that would show on when I place this against the Mary Merlot piece. So I tried to cut all the white off, which I see right here. I missed a little sliver, but it's okay. So, long story short, I changed my mind. Stamp it first on a scrap of white, and then you can very easily see where to place this stitching die right in the middle, run it through your machine, then hand cut it out. We all are learning as we go, right? And then we'll see what I did on the next card, because probably that could have been easier as well. Okay. That's the way to get the 2 colors. But if you want it all in one color, don't forget you can run both dies through at one time, which again I did on another project. When I get to it, I'll talk about that. Okay, so those are all our pieces. We're ready to assemble this one. So let me place Life is Great onto the Mary Merlot outline piece. And then that was flat, and then I'm also attaching this patch flat to the hat. Because to me, it'd be fine with dimensionals, it's like artistic license, but if you're trying to be realistic, that would all be flat. It wouldn't be all popped up on a hat. I'm going to do the same thing with the brim because I think it's so cool that we can pop that brim up. So I will use my mini dimensionals again on the brim, so 3 of those. Regular adhesive on the hat portion. Let me go ahead and attach this long strip of basic white toward the bottom of this embossed cinnamon cider. And then the hat will just go kind of like the other card, kind of the same position. Top rightish. And then let me go ahead and attach this to the card base because I'm not wrapping any ribbon around it. And I'm using a little more adhesive than normal because that's so embossed, that cinnamon cider. And then I just need a bow, and I want a double bow so that it's more substantial. And this is the white crinkled seam binding. And with that, it's very staticky. So I figured out that if you run our clear color lifter, which is with our Stampin' Blends, it's not called clear, it just is clear, and it's for erasing little mistakes when you're coloring with our alcohol markers, Stampin' Blends, but it has no color in it. It doesn't remove as much static as coloring with Stampin' Blends, but it removes some of the static. So all I'm doing right now is figuring out about how much of this ribbon I need for a double bow, and I'm going to trim that off, and then I'll untie that and run this color lifter on it. So hopefully I'm making sense. It's very, for me, it's very hard to tie a double bow with this ribbon with all that static. So you have to pay attention to where you put the color lifter because it's clear. It makes your ribbon look a little wet, so you can use that as a guide. And it feels wet. Okay, so that will kind of remove some of the static and let me work with this a little easier. If you saw, I measured it folded in half to make a single bow out of 2 pieces of ribbon, so a double bow. So now I'm just going to cut those in half. And so I'm going to make a bow like normal, just with 2 pieces of ribbon. So 2 bunny ears. Lots of space in between them. And try to keep, it's harder with 2 pieces, but try to keep all the ribbon flat, not twisted. Here's the lots of space in between. I'm holding 1 loop in my right hand, 1 in my left. All my fingers are pointing at me. Then I'm going to take that right loop and cross it over the left one, and then push that right loop down in the bunny hole, rabbit hole. And then it's a bow, but it's just made with 2 ribbons instead of 1. And then of course you need to adjust your bow, make the loops match, make your tails, well, make the loops match and then trim your tails. But hopefully you can see that it was much less staticky than this ribbon normally is for me. And then if needed with the double bow, you can separate the 2 loops. Mine did it naturally, but usually I have to separate them myself. And then of course trim the ends so that they look better, more even with each other on each side, and then side to side. Whoops, oh my goodness. Pulled it when I was trimming. Okay, so there we go. And then we'll just use a mini glue dot to add this on. Yay, Janet. I love this stamp set. And then I was like, oh, Father's Day is this weekend, by the way. Reminder, in case anyone forgot. So I should probably show something semi-masculine, even though I realize it's kind of too late to order it for Father's Day. But it will give you some ideas. You might use other stuff you have if you don't have this yet. And, you know, I did my job with the masculine. So there is the card. A little more feminine there, although, you know, whatever works for everybody. I'm trying to adjust this and I'm getting email notifications on my phone. There we go. So let me bring it in closer. So cute, right? Just the hat alone just does it. Okay, last but not least, this is my favorite card. Save the best for last. I hope you guys really like it like I did. I'm going to share some extra samples here, so I'm going to put those there so I don't forget. But some of them are not related to the hat, but they're related to the technique on this card. So anyway, my card base, well, first of all, I'm using the Mountain Air stamp set to go along with this. This is in the annual catalog. I'm using the, Night of Navy is my card base, 5.5, 8.5. Then I have a piece of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. That is, this card is going to be portrait. Then I have a piece of balmy blue to stamp the hat on, so that's a scrap. I did the same thing here. I pre-embossed one of the other patch stitching on a piece of white, and then I stamped, oh, I guess I haven't stamped it yet. I intend to stamp that. So that was the easier one. The other one was the one that gave me trouble, which it gave me no trouble today, because if that wasn't easy, I wouldn't have pre-done it. I mean, I would have pre-done it. But we figured out the answer. Remember, stamp first, then run that through the machine. And then I pre-die cut out the background piece in Night of Navy for this patch. So, as far as pieces go, there's no ribbon on this card. These are all my pieces I need. Mountain Air does have dies that go with it, just FYI. I don't think it's bundled anymore. And now I'm blanking out on if that's in the current mini catalog. But anyway, Mountain Air is actually a reversible stamp set, which means you can stamp the image on either side of the rubber. So one side gives you the detail, and then if you flip it over and clean it first and stick it to your clear block, the other side gives you this shadow, so you can use them together or separately. I'm not doing that today, but you can. And then, oh, there's no indent, so that's where I'm getting some of the images from. So I'm going to bring those over. I'm using the big mountains and the big trees. And then from Hats Off, I'll use the hat again, as well as Here's to the Next Adventure. And then look, there is a patch of mountains and trees. So it matches this so perfectly. And Balmy Blue and Night of Navy are the ink colors. So let me fold my card base in half because it's in my way. Set that aside. And then stamping. So we need our hat. I'm going to clean it over here on the side in Night of Navy. The big hat. There is a die that there's no stamp to match it, but there's a die for a small baseball type hat, and I will show you a sample with that as well. So just write on this scrap of Balmy Blue and then die cut it out. And you can see better the stitching on this since I just used cardstock. You can see they leave the middle part empty for the patch. The stamp just doesn't stamp there. And the stitch marks don't go through there as well. But anyway, you can kind of see all that stitching a little better on this piece. And then my mountains, which we determined, which I hand cut this out, we determined I should have stamped first and then run this through. And if I mess this up, I may do that real quick. But this one was, I guess, easier to align. It's a little bit off. Terry said, you literally had me at hats off. I'm gonna grab a scrap of white and let's test out my other theory here. So there's a little mountain image with the trees, and it's within the shape there of the patch. And then let me grab that die. So it's this one here. And it is, there's a right and wrong direction on this one because all of them are a little bit smaller on the left side because of the way the hat is shaped, so that it's like proportionally right. So I'm gonna run this through the die cut machine, Stampin' Cut and Emboss, just like you're die cutting, just like I did before. But I'm gonna put some of my tape on here and run this through, but I'll just do it over here just to save you guys time. And then I think that's going to be a lot smarter. And why did I not think of that at the time that I was doing this? I have no clue. But look how perfectly aligned that is. And y'all, I was struggling too. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you have to be in public and embarrass yourself to figure things out, I guess. And then I'm going to cut it out, put my glasses back on. First of all, so just trying again not to let any white show, so right just barely inside the blue stamped part. And yeah, this is way better. But if you don't mind it all being one color, you can do both steps at one time with the two dies. Okay, so there's that part. Now let me bring in my scratch paper and stamp on this 4 by 5 1/4 basic white, which is the front of the card. And I'm going to first stamp the mountain image. So cool, mountain air, in balmy blue. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. I dropped that into the ink pad, but it did not seem to get any ink on there. I dropped the block into the ink. Okay, so I'm inking up the whole thing, even though I'm stamping it across because this is portrait, and I know some of it's going to hang off the edges, but I just want to not mess up and miss an edge on the side, so I inked up the whole thing. So there's the mountains in balmy blue. And then right below it, you stamp these trees, this line of trees, in Night of Navy. I was trying to figure out why I put that Night of Navy away. I guess I just got confused. So ink it up the same way. And you stamp these into the mountains, like, so it touches where you stamped before. And somehow it just magically looks perfect. Like I'm not aligning, other than stamping into the mountains, I'm not aligning a tree with a certain area of the mountain, but it just looks perfect. So that's credit to Stampin' Up! For that design. And then my greeting is going to go in the bottom left-hand corner. It says, "Here's to the next adventure," in Night of Navy. I'm not going all the way to the bottom, maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch up, but pretty much all the way to the left because my hat's going to go here. But then, so I made this and I was like, that looks good. I like it. But then I was like, oh, what about when I made those clouds at card class last month? Let me try that on here. So I grabbed my template from card class. If you're in my card class, you know, you remember this because, well, if you were in person, you used it. And I said, practice on scratch paper first. So let me, yeah. So I made this template out of our thick white cardstock, which I hardly ever use it, but thicker to me is better for a template. You're going to keep getting wet over and over. So this is the thick white, which we do sell. And it's hand cut, and if you look closely, it is not very well cut because I just am not good at that kind of thing. I think I took a pencil and made the clouds first, and then I cut it. But, you know, this one's kind of pointy right here. But I found out it looked fine. It didn't matter. So you lay this template on your cardstock, And for us, we just held it in place, like with our hands. And take one of our blending brushes, which are currently not orderable. I believe they'll be back in by the end of this month. They just are very popular and we keep running out. So you get some ink on your blending brush, and then you always start on your scratch paper. Otherwise, you're going to get a big blob that probably won't look very good. Trying to lay my arm down, but I have too much stuff over here. And then I'm going to blend onto my white cardstock. And first of all, you might be, if you're looking at this on the camera, it probably looks like there's nothing there. But check before you say that, because usually there's something there. Now, you still may want yours darker. Can y'all see that? I can't tell. But there definitely are clouds there. I think you can't see it very well because of the lighting. But anyway, so check that, because it looks really light, but that's because it's against this super dark where we've been using this template over and over again. But of course, you can get it as dark as you want. No problem there. But I'm sure, yeah. Again, hopefully that's showing. Oh, these lights are too bright. I don't know. Then what we did is we flipped it over to the back side. Doesn't really matter which side you start with. And I'm going to place this just a little above these mountains here on the right. Now, as you move down your page, you don't start from the top, because I did the first sample I made and I was like, all I did was fill in and the entire thing was blue. You start from the bottom on the template and go up some and not all the way to the top. And that's how you have a little white in between, and that's how you can tell they're clouds. And also check, because it may look like there's nothing there and there may be something there. Oops. Try not to shift your template. But the main thing I learned was having that white in between so that it actually looked like clouds. Man, I feel like you can't see that very well. Don't worry, I took a picture and it'll be posted on my blog and my VIP Facebook group. So let me show you the cards. We made 2 of these cards in club last month with the clouds. I think you can see those. That one and this one. I was very proud of these cards. This stamp set is retiring. It's called Soar. What does that say? Soar. Soar Confidently. I was trying to remember. Anyway, so there's my clouds from there. I was like, oh, let me add the clouds like from card class. And it's really cool. And this template's going to last like so long. So there you go. Now, let's make this card pop like, it's so cool to me. I was like, is this going to work together? And then I just loved how it turned out so much. So I want to, for purposes of reveal, I want to add that piece that we just stamped to the Night of Navy card base. Then I'll add my patch to my hat. So remember, I'm doing it flat because I don't think a patch would have dimension on a hat other than the natural dimension of this cardstock, which a patch would have. And remember, there's a right and wrong on that. I'm going to do the same thing with my brim. Mini dimensionals. Yes, Terry, me too on Mountaineer. And I think, so this card makes me think of the paper pumpkin that's about to come out. I could be wrong. But look, we got trees. Like, we got some mountain air going on. That even looks like a mountain in the background, possibly. So, mix it all together. Pretty good. So, adhesive on the top of the hat. Dimensionals on the brim. And let's make this card pop. I just think this looks so cool. Boom, right there. Is that not cute? to me, you wouldn't necessarily think those two things would go together, but they look really cool together. Here's the one I made the other day. I think I made these Monday. Here's to the next adventure. Love it, love it. I'm going to see what Teresa said. Sorry I missed you the last couple of weeks. I'm going to go back and watch. Thank you, thank you. If you use acetate for the clouds, sorry, it scrolled on me, helps the ink stay wet for blending. Huh, that makes sense. She's saying if this was acetate, the ink from here would move onto the cardstock, so that's a good tip. Yeah, Susan, I'm not good at building scenes for sure. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, I think they will coordinate, Terry, but, you know, we'll see if I'm right or not. I'm trying to go back and see what you guys, see if I need to comment on anything. Thank you, Jackie. I'm sure I'm not going back far enough. Hey, Donna, I just saw you there. And Dorothy, yes, clouds are not perfect. They definitely, to me, are going to look different on every card we make and in the real sky. They're not going to be uniform. I feel like they're not showing up well. I guess you can kind of see them on the video, but in person you definitely can see the clouds. So I'll bring in all three of these, and then I have some other samples to show you. Here's the three we made today. By commenting and sharing the video and then commenting that you shared, you have a chance to win these 3 cards. It'll be too late for Father's Day, just a heads up, but these are more for any time in my opinion. But I mean, you got somebody retiring or going to climb a mountain or whatever, perfect over here. Even camping, like, I don't know, I just think it's really cool. I'm glad y'all like it. Thank you, thank you. Awesome. Okay, so let me show you these other samples real quick. I actually made a couple of samples specifically to show extras on this video, but I do want to show the class ones real quick because I was proud of these. I believe I came up with all of these on my own for card class last month, and we made, like always, all 4 used the 1 stamp set only, Soar Confidently, and you can still get that stamp set while supplies last. The stamps are selling out faster than the other stuff. This card uses I think it's called Evergreen, I can't remember, but it's a tree embossing folder we have. So anyway, there's those. Here's my cloud inspiration for this other card. And then I specifically made these 3 cards, but I copied one completely just to show you some other options because I had a lot of ideas for this Facebook Live, and then of course you can only do 3. So I decided to show those 3. This is a simple, but to the guy that wears many hats, there's 3 hats. And then it says Dad. So, and that's Bermuda Bay, Smoky Slate, Pear Pizzazz, Daffodil Delight. Those are the colors I used in this one. So Terry, card class is not only in person. For example, when you register, the same link for Stamp-A-Stack or Sampler class, in that link it is the card class option as well as scrapbook. And then you can basically, long story short, I contact you and ask you after you sign up for it, do you want to pay the fee or would you rather place an order? And I give you a special host code to order to take card class. So this is the other card I made. This was inspired by cards I saw on Pinterest, but then I made my own. So I took this coloring from one card I saw and the color scheme here, Misty Moonlight and Basic Gray from another, and so on. So it's my card, but I definitely was heavily inspired from Pinterest. And this is the one that has the patch that has the sun and like water below it. It's like half like a sunset, I guess. And she had colored it, I assume, with Stampin' Blends because I didn't read, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, and Light Balmy Blue on bottom. And this was the patch one that I cut out both at the same time because it's just all white. So there's that. So it says Dad down the side, and then You're the Best. That'll be a great for Father's Day. Now this one I 100% copied exactly from, I think from the Demonstrator Planning Place, which is a Facebook group only for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, another perk. But it's fully copied, and this took quite a while to make. I'll say there's a lot of detail, but I loved how she used the patch images without the hat at all. I think she stamped this is that artistically inked alcohol ink stamp. She may have done an alcohol background, but I think it was stamped. So I stamped that in Balmy Blue. But everything else I think I pretty much did like her. So the stars are distressed, like you die cut them out and then crumple them up like trash and flatten them. Same with this banner, which I just hand cut. You're the Best is, all my ink here is black. But these stripes are just Stampin' Blends. And this gray is just Stampin' Blend colored in, because when you stamp number 1, there's no background there. So I just color that in with the Smoky Slate Light Basic Blend, Stampin' Blend. She embossed one of the, not embossed, but ran through the die cut one of the patch, the stitch patch. I don't know where mine is because it's one of the ones I took out earlier, but pretend it's, oh, there it is. So this one, she just die cut that through a few times to make the background. And of course I realized I only needed to cut it where it would show on the front of the card. So nothing's cut in this middle part on this crumb cake. Anyway, so to give me all a little more details than you might need, but I just thought this card was so cool. A great way to use that. It's the same kind of color scheme as this second one I just showed you. And then this other card I have is one I've shown before because it was a swap from the incentive trip, but it's another way to make it more feminine with the hat. She just cut the hat out of some of our Neutrals designer paper. She has the entire hat on dimensionals. What's her name? Mary. Oh, Mary Nabe. That's my friend. But a black glittered ribbon bow. She used the same one as me. Life is Great for a Feminine. So there we go. Yes, Geared Up Garage, which I believe is retired, would go great with this. Because, yeah, I didn't even think of that, Teresa. Like a mechanic's hat. I actually Googled to get inspiration. To get inspiration for styles of hats, I was Googling all these things. Like popular baseball hats, baseball caps, feminine baseball caps. And I honestly didn't really find any inspiration on just Googling that. So I didn't think about a mechanic's hat. But yeah, there's so many different things we can do. And no problem, Terry. You know, if you have any questions, you can also message or text me. Ooh, tags for a cruise next year. All right, Landa, thinking ahead. Did I talk about the cruise today? I think I forgot to mention it. Don't forget, we're having a stamping cruise in January 2022. And you can craft and cruise, and it's out of Galveston, Texas, and it's awesome. Everybody should go on that. Anyway, I'm catching up on these comments real quick, but this is what I have for you guys today. Thank you. I'm glad you're obsessed, Terry. By the way, Terry, I bring my samples to retreat, so these will be there in person. Jackie, Mountaineer card is your favorite. I love it. It's so cute. Plus the colors, like a lot of it's just the Stampin' Up! Art is what makes us look good. You can use pink ribbon. Ooh, breast cancer awareness. Yes, pink ribbon with a pink cap for breast cancer awareness. So please keep sharing your ideas because there's a lot. In my team group this week is like one of my team members, April McCrite. She does weekly challenges for us. stamping challenges that anyone can participate in, and it's masculine this week, and there's a bunch of cute hat samples on there too, totally different from all my cards. So, you know, join my group and you can get in and see all those samples. But my team is really working. They're being very creative with the hats as well. So thank you guys very much. Yes, Terry, you need to go on that cruise for sure. We can talk about it more at retreat. Thank you, Susan, Charlotte, yay, dad hat with wilderness background, love it. Awesome. Well, I hope y'all, I think you did, but I hope y'all enjoyed it today. Next week, I believe I'll be back on Thursday like normal. If you do have any questions about any of my events, let me know. Everything I said is offered to go. Only some are offered in person, but everything is offered to go at minimum. So any questions, or if you need the links, let me know, or deadlines or any of that. You're welcome, Linda. Thank you guys very much, and have a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye.